Hello, welcome back to Culture Connected. Welcome back to episode 5 of Dissecting the Droid. Um, I figured I'd go back to 2013 for this episode as I've been going through a lot of old stuff recently, and I thought this was a good segue into this point of where I was at in my own personal career. First year LC, but I had a lot of ideas and a lot of ways I wanted to do this. And one of the biggest things that I was thinking about at the time, which I think is a good thing to talk about, is I wanted to be multiple, but without changing personnel. So the guys that I had on the field, I wanted to be able to use in multiple positions. So running backs will play wide receiver, and receivers play running backs. So it could be multiple in a lot of ways and showing a lot of looks. Um, as I said, this film is from like several years ago now. Again, the opponent not the best. It's a Division Two game. This is where I began my coaching career. But the whole point of me doing this is trying to give guys examples of how to do things when things are not going the way you thought they were going to go. As in, when I came into the club as an RC, even though I've been there before, when it was my turn to take the reins, we had our QB leave, and we had to bleed a lot of rookies and move people about and stuff like that, and get QBs built up through time and through learning. So our levels weren't always the same. So some years we would be more run heavy than pass heavy, just depending on the personnel we have. So at this point in time, we were still very run heavy. Um, but I got through a couple of drives. This is our very first drive of the game against Crew. Um, I'll talk you through it. I'll talk you through what we were doing at the time. So just bear with me. Again, it's an old format, not on huddle. So it is what it is, guys. We'll see what happens. Click around there. Okay, so we were huddling back in 2013. We were a huddle team. I gave the call to the QB, and he gave it to the team. As you can see, we're coming out in two back. Then we're coming out in two back. Our rules apply, which I've always maintained, which is my Y and my X are always on. That's the rule that I was taught. That's the rule that I've maintained even to this day. That's one of the things that hasn't changed. The core principles of what I do haven't changed, and that's one of them. In this play to start off with, we're in two back, but our H is actually our H wide receiver, and our running back is a guy that will play wide receiver as well at some point. I wanted to show them a lot of formations, keep it high tempo without changing personnel. That was the goal I had in mind when I first took the job and put my footprint on an offense that had been going for quite a while. So into this first play, we crossed the backs there. It's a simple inside zone. Cross the backs. One of the things that we still again run to this day is we cross the backs on a lot of stuff. So watch it again. Actually, it's a counter, not a zone. You see the both guys pulling there. My bad. Both guys are pulling into counter. This is one of the plays that we had back in the day. We did run a lot of power, a lot of counter. Much different to what we're doing now. There's a delay there, and we pick up a nice gain on first down. Now in this clip, this was in this game. Sorry, this is when our QB was cutting his teeth as we given him more and more reps. He was ready to take the reins. I think this might have been his first start, his first ever start as a quarterback. So there's going to be times where his passing game was erratic. He would sometimes not make the right read, and sometimes he would make just a poor throw. These are things that, as an offensive coordinator, you've got to take on the chin when you're leading guys through and getting it right. But for the most part, the guy learned on the fly, and he did a fantastic job. And when it came to running the football as a former wide receiver, he was at times unstoppable, and he was a great person to have on your club. A great team player. Did everything he was asked to do. So it's second down now. As you can see, we've moved into empty. So we've gone from two back to empty. Our H is now back where it should be, and our R is at wide receiver. The only rule we have for our R, if we were passive, is that he was in a bubble. We didn't want to, because he was also a rookie, we didn't want to fill our guys' heads with too much stuff. So our R, if we were running, if we were going to pass the football or or run the football with a QB, he would always run a bubble. That's all he asked him to do. He was a lot of times just there for window dressing and to stretch the field. That's all he was there for the most part. We do run a couple of bubbles with him, but not in this particular game. We want him to stretch the field out widthwise and make him cover everybody. So you can see it's a nice simple QB run, stacking the line there, stacking the receivers there, and we're going to run behind the receivers. No pulling guards, no pulling tackles. So literally it's a QB draw, or QB dive, as we used to call it. Then you got your player making wide receiver with the ball in his hand, chugging down the field making yards. First, second, third, fourth guy. Outstanding effort. And we don't, at this point in time, we're not masking it, we're not covering it with anything else, any of the other guys. It's just straight up QB get the ball and run with it. There was a lot of things and a lot of the opinions go about running quarterbacks, but the risk you have is if you want to run your quarterback, you could get him injured, and that's your potential your season over. So if you're going to run that quarterback, make sure you got a guy that's sustainable and built tough, not somebody that's like jinky and can get injured really quickly because okay, he's agile and quick, but if he gets knocked, he can go down. And that's your season over and done with. Again, it's just a simple delay, simple draw play from the QB, nice QB draw. First contact, second contact, and third contact, he goes down. Now we're inside the 20. Again, we huddle. Our QB goes back to me. You can see we've not changed any of the personnel. They're still the same 11 guys. And now we're still in the same formation. We call this Ranger left and Ranger right. I think I've said in the previous video. The only reason we call it Ranger left, Ranger right is because the R was the guy that was the difference. So Ranger would go left and Ranger would go right. Again, the only stickler is our head coach wanted us to have a tight end because of what he was athlete wanted to use. So everything that I did for the most part had a tight end attached to it in 2013. It's not something that I wanted to do, but at the end of the day, you do what your head coach says if you want to stay in a job. So we've got motion, we got jet motion now. Again, this is another rookie for 2013, and he was quick as lightning, but wasn't the best runner. Did have the best hands. So all we wanted to do was give him the ball in hands and make him miss people, and we felt the jet play gave us the opportunity to do that. So by doing that, we would run the jet into our trip side. So we run it into protection, and hopefully we can get a block on the corner and we can turn the corner. A lot of people won't run jet into the boundary side. I have no qualms about it personally. So we hand the ball off, great protection, great fake. As you can see, he fumbles the football there because he's a young guy, makes mistakes, but we've got lucky and kept hold of it. You can see it's a great fake from our quarterback, a great block from our own line. That frees him up. A standing fake from the quarterback. Great block there from our little running back as well. Double teams him, steals the edge. Got a nice bit of grass there. Turn the corner. And we're inside the 10. Operates over the game. Same personnel. Nothing's changed. There you can see we're in a 2-by-2 look. I hated where he was. I tried to stay on the line, and then we're seeing a simple 2x2 look. A nice simple stick play. Again, this guy's a rookie. He's supposed to be running a fade, but he runs slant. But our wide switched on. We fake the inside run. You can see he's going to sit in grass and then push it out because they're in man. He does. He puts his hands up, catches the football. It was a nice, simple, easy TD off stick. And stick's one of the plays that I've run as long as I've been coaching. Always been a good play for me. And you see it from every angle and every different formation, and different personnel. Even when we got an attached, it still works. A treat as long as you guys got hands. Again, we don't. One of the things that we moved away from in recent times is that we don't always fake that inside zone. This is just a simple sit down play. And a nice simple pitch and catch. Okay, that was our first drive of the game. Let's go to our second drive of the game. I believe it's at the 12-minute mark, 11:45 mark. We got to and then we're back to two back. He gets caught up, but as you can see, formation wise and motion wise, what we want to do is run the inside zone there, and our height will come around and run the speed option. So he hands it off. QB's looking at this guy. We could have kept it if we wanted to, but he hands it off. Minimal gain. His work is a gain, and we take that gain. And then go second down and long. Now we're back to empty. We're back to Ranger left. Our running back is over here. And we're going to fake the jet the other way. We fake it, and our QB runs and keeps it. Again, all these things are built in. So we're trying to build layers upon layers. So if you see us run a jet, you have to honor the jet, and we'll tie that into adding QB runs to it or passes off of it. In assistance, it's just a QB run. I think it's power, but he doesn't get out fast enough at the moment. But nonetheless, our QB is very, very vertical with his running, very north-south, which I really loved. Not afraid to take on a tackler, not afraid to get his nose dirty. And we pick up 15, 20 yards, just like that. And this is us adapting to going from being a full-white team and throwing the football 25, 35 times a game to being a multiple team and throwing the football 10 to 12 times a game and running the football 25 to 35 times a game. Every year is different. Every person, your personnel is different. So you have to adapt your core values to fit the personnel that you have. It might not be like this in 2014, 15, 16, 17. Every single year is going to be different. And that's just what we have to deal with. So we fight that jet. You see them biting on the jet. He's nowhere around. We're just better than they are as well. And we make yards. They move it up. Okay. You see now we're back in 2x2. Same personnel. Nothing's changed. Nobody's been brought on the field. Still the same 11 guys. We've not subbed in anybody. We'll be giving them different looks, different packages that they've got to deal with all the time. So now they're watching. Are they going to watch the jet? Are they going to watch the QB dive or the QB power? They've got to account for two things there. Okay. So we jet motion our man again. He's running a lot faster this time. We fake that handoff and we run a simple running back swing on the side where we know there's vacated grass here because they have to follow their man. You know they're in man, they have to follow their man. If there's a whole bunch of grass here, keeper does a great job throwing the ball in space. And our young little rookie goes ahead and takes it. So you've seen us build a direct run from the quarterback. You've seen us building a motion, a jet option, and hand it off. You just run a jet option and keep the quarterback out. That's three things. Now we've brought in a fourth thing by adding a running back swing into it. He's our primary read. He's our only read technically. And now, of course, back in this time there was no if or what. The QB wasn't reading the line or reading the back. It's not for me anyway. Because as a first year, I'll say, I was not that confident about stuff. So I was not telling the QB to run the track, and if the back of dips or whatever, then get the ball and throw it. It was literally, if you're going to hand it off, you're going to hand it off. If you're going to throw the ball, you're going to throw the ball. So that's kind of where we were at the time. This is year one for me in terms of OC coaching. I was trying to implement my little bits and pieces to make my footprint on an offense. But the things that I've done here in 2013 have stayed with me until 2021. Nothing's changed. Okay, so we stay the same way in trips now. Okay, now we're in trips. Same personnel. Pushed out our tight end out wide. This is a simple slant and outs. If you've watched any of my other clips or on Twitter or anything, I posted a ton. This is a simple trips left, slant and outs. So we've got two slants going in and the out pass going, the simple 1 yard out going out. As you can see that the throw is open, but he just starts it behind the receiver. Also, you'll see that if he was see how they're lined up, that our shoot route, our out route is wide open. We don't take advantage of that matchup because it's literally taking the both slants and he's stuck in no man's land. However, this slant would be open if you threw it early. He doesn't see the open man. He throws a slant. More dangerous, and I think the guy knows it, but he's behind him anyway. So he just failed to take advantage of that space. And these are the teething problems that you will find yourself having when you've got a QB with very little experience in game. We've gone back to 5 wide now. Okay, you can see we're 5 wide, but we've gone from tight end to split. So we literally are now in empty set. I'm not sure what we're running there, to be honest. But it's a poor throw. You don't get off the line there at all. My tight end. They're jamming us. We can't get open. I think it might have just been verts. We get basically owned on that play, all across the board. Not really all on the QB. Our receivers can't get open. 2, 1 rookie, 1 former lineman. Poor throw, bad routes. You want to watch that back one more time? You'll see that our R, our only rule was always going to run a bubble. Runs the bubble. He's open. He goes a quick pass. We take that shot, and then we don't get it, and that brings us 3rd and 10. Again, the QB is talking to me. I'm giving him the play, and we huddle. This is how it was back when I was doing it for the first time. And I carried that on from learning the system from Coach Reed. Didn't change nothing from that area for quite a few years, to be fair. You see we're empty again. We've got our tight end back in this time. He's gone back in tight rather than being pushed out wide. It's a formation that we like. We've got a motion now that are coming across. They have to respect that motion because then we have handed it off. Right now we've just shown that we can't throw the football very well. But what we can do is run the football extremely well. So even though they have to honour that thing, the jet, we keep the football. We've got a pulling guard. We go the other way. We get a great block. We turn it upfield. Initiate contact, first, second contact. Keep going. Third contact. Takes it all the way down to the 10-yard line. This from a play that was supposed to go left, to go right, sorry. We broke it back. Keep the football. We've now got pulling guards. If he would have kept the ball, he had the lane to run into. If our QB kept it. Got a great block from our receiver. Gets the first down. 3 or 4 more will be tacklers. Bring into the ground. Great move. Great conversion on 3rd and long. And then into the second quarter. You can see we're back to 5 wide. Same 11 people. All this is there is a nice quick bubble. Okay, this is a quick screen. He's going to go get the news man. He's going to take a step back in. Take that now screen, as we call it. Catches it. Makes the man miss. It's 2 or 3 yards we approach the goal line. Still an empty. Yeah, I'm running back to the right now, sorry. Stick. He just sits in the grass. You get down into the 2. Nice play on the stick. You can't really see the formation. However, it is 5 wide. He's just gonna run a bubble, or should run a bubble. He gets jammed up. He does run a bubble. He makes a great catch. Gets this inside the 5, inside the 2. It's first and goal or second and goal. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me switch it up again. We do make a personnel switch now. You can see that we're bringing a fullback. We've still got our tight end in. So we're giving them plenty gaps to fill. They have to honour each gap. So we're adding that 6 linemen still. It makes them honour another gap and they have to fulfill it. One of the things that we did here, and we've still carried on, is that we'll fullback plunge it and fake the toss or fake the pitch to our halfback. This is what we do here. They're trying to jump it. But often think our R's getting the football, but in reality our big fullbacks got the football, playing it into the end zone for his first ever touchdown. High form, fullback dive, fake pitch. For the formation. Not a new play, it's just a dive. Whether it was a QB dive or a running back dive or a fullback dive, it's still the same blocking scheme. It's still the same principles. Go to our next drive. And our final drive of the day. I don't want to get this too long, but I just want to show you the different things that we've done in this 2013. So we're coming out now. We've had a great kick return. Great punt return, sorry, because they didn't score. You can see that we're now back in 2x2. Our tight ends attached. The foot in the box. We're confident on our line. It's a simple dive play. And that young shifty guy makes a lot of men miss. And that's what all you can ask for from your line to block that well. They pick up all the blitzers. Double team there. Big gap for our young little back to run into. He's full of beans. Sees a crease, hits it hard, makes some great yards. Not a big guy, but a very fast guy. And all of a sudden, we're back inside their 20. You can see now, we're under centre. Different look. Trips to the left, to the right, sorry. This is a counter play, which doesn't go very well. It doesn't go very well because our young back wants to break it outside when he should follow his blockers. He's young, he's a rookie, they make mistakes, as do senior backs do. You see we've got trips to the right. We're going to pull both our guard and tackle. He's going to steal him. We should be following our guard up, but our guard gets lost a little bit. It's not a great job for anyone. And they defend it really well. Stop it from us, they defend it really well. But we will give them another look. And we stay in that look, but we just go to the left now. So it's 2 by 2. We're still in under centre. They're trying to jump there, they're trying to pull it through. Again, we just hit him with a dive. He gets cleaned out on his locker there. Fair play to him, he bursts through. You see they're trying to jump all the things, but we get it covered really well. Simple dive play in the middle. They're trying to cover the gaps. We're going in the middle. We had a great offensive line that year, big strong offensive line. Watch it one more time. There's the gaps. Second level. Gets cleaned out, but he's a big guy and a small guy. No flag there for the unsportsman. We'll take it anyway. And then we're back into shotgun formation. Still got tight end attached. And again, we're now jet sweeping this guy. And we've got 3 options. We can hand off. We can hand off to the running back to the jet motion go, or we can keep it the QB. 3 things they've got to cover now. As you can see, big crease in the middle because of what we've already been doing. We haven't run the QB for a couple of plays now. So they think that we've left that at our repertoire now. You got power there. It's simple QB power. Right in motion. Back the handoff. Pulling guard. And we just pound it all the way to the end zone for another touchdown. Okay, guys. 3 drives there from 2013. Just showing you the vast array of formations that I tried to do at that point in time of my own career, with limited personnel, limited numbers, and a first-year QB who was learning the ropes as long. So we had to adapt our playbook and what we ran to fit our personnel. If we can do that, you go a long way, coaches, into getting to where you want to be eventually, and making the best out of every situation. Like I said, we won this game 55-0, I think, but we also lost up games throughout the course of the season. There's ebbs and flows. It's not always going to go perfect. There's going to be mistakes. And when you're cutting your teeth and they're cutting their teeth, especially at the lower levels, anything can happen. But hopefully, guys, you've seen something that you can take away from this, and something that you can hopefully use. I appreciate you guys checking in and following the channel. But for today, that's it. So thank you very much.